Hello once again. I see that attendees are joining. Good to see that. Uh, my name is Domas. I'm responsible for sales at Simplanova, and today we are going to have a case study on add-on upgrade to Business Central, Elbek Vejrup vertical solution upgrade. So today is a bit different day because finally here I'm not alone. I'm together with our partner from Elbek Vejrup, Morten Bremer Jensen, who is a senior consultant at Elbek Vejrup.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Thomas, today.
So good to hear you, Morten. And the main idea of this event and why we are having it today is just simply to share our experience, how we actually, what was the path while doing an upgrade for this specific vertical solution. What is the path while upgrading solutions in general, and hopefully all of you will gain some relevant news from this event, or even on the other hand, if you will find that we something missed during the webinar while explaining, or maybe you see that there are better solutions, so maybe you could also contact us and share your experience, how you are dealing with upgrades to the latest Business Central versions. So at the end, of course, of the session, we are going to have questions and answers. So even right now, you can leave the questions, or you can prepare the questions by the end of the session, and we'll try to answer all your questions. Of course, everything depends also on time. But anyway, after the session, within a few upcoming days, also you will receive the recording and the document regarding questions and answers. So to begin with, first of all, I'll try shortly to introduce Simplanova for all of you who haven't worked with us before or haven't heard about us, who we are and what we do. We started our operations back in 2013 when Microsoft launched NAV 2013. And we started our operations as a company who provides upgrades for other partners, because at that time it was really a headache to do the transitions from the classic versions to RTC. And we saw that problem and tried to analyze what we can do better, how we can make partners' life easier while upgrading the end users. So we developed various tools that allows us to save a lot of time while doing the upgrades. We built a team, a competent team who works with upgrades. So we know all the shortcuts, we know all the paths, how to do everything efficiently in that way. And well, we are striving in that part. And even right now, when Microsoft launched Business Central, we saw that there are some changes and we need to find some new ways how to be efficient. So we are working that part as well. So as a matter of fact, regarding the upgrade part, to be efficient, we started working with various tools. And right now, publicly, we are even providing for other partners such a tools as Report Converter, which converts classic reports to RDLC, Data Port Converter, which converts to XML ports. Regarding Report Converter, sorry, forgot to mention that it also converts to AL as an extension. Additionally, we are providing training session regarding extensions for those partners or developers who haven't worked with extensions before. So, you know, to prepare for initial projects related to AL, we can definitely support you. And of course, we do have a team of developers who can help you with all kind of projects, such as new implementations, add-on development, etc. And right now, a word for you, Morten, regarding Elbek Vejrup and your vertical solution.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. My name is Morten Bremer, and I'm from Elbek Vejrup. We are located here in Denmark, and we are a huge center. and the head office is in Aarhus, and we have a lot of verticals for different industries. And of course, it's also important for us to go further to the latest and the greatest. And here we have Simplanova, who had upgraded the first solution to extensions. And this is a solution for contractors. And this is the one Thomas will go through now.
Yes, so let's go then through the agenda, what we are going to discuss today. So I would like to divide everything in 3 different parts. One of them is project preparation, which is important, to make sure that everything will go perfectly during the project start phases. So definitely we need to prepare all the analysis, evaluations, set up the rules of the communication and so on. Second part would be regarding the project itself, because also it wasn't the, I would say, the standard way, because, well, first of all, the goal was BC15, but due to the fact that during the upgrade, Microsoft launched BC16, we decided that we should, well, actually, you guys decided that we should go straight away to BC16. So I'll try to explain how everything went at that part. And the final part would be just to share the best practice, what should be applied also while doing the upgrades, and of course, comments from Morten, what to expect while working with other partners, what's the path for current solution, or what you are already doing with the current solution, and share this experience with all the attendees, and of course to have the Q&A session. So let's start with the project preparation. As you see right here, I have written evaluation, analysis, and re-evaluation. What it means that at this point, if we are getting requests for evaluations and analysis from our clients, we are receiving FOB files with the objects. We are getting the message that we should upgrade actually all the objects, but when we are doing the analysis and partners are seeing either the quotes or the analysis, how everything looks like with all the objects, then we decide, then partner decides, well, probably we don't need to have all the objects because there are various limitations, or some of the objects are estimated with X amount of hours, where probably this time can be saved on the upgrade itself. Regarding Elbek Vejrup solution, everything was quite smooth in this case, because solution itself was quite clean. There were not a lot of these kind of objects which were built for the testing purposes or something. It was clean, proper solution, so we didn't have any issues while doing the evaluation, and the process itself was really simple. We just need to receive the FOB file as we received from Elbek Vejrup. We used our evaluation tools for that. We've done the evaluation. We were able to go through all the objects to see how much time for Simplanova it would take to upgrade all the objects. Another thing, due to the fact that we had already some experience with extensions, because previously, well, this was not the first our project of migration to extensions, so we already knew which parts might cause us troubles, or we knew where we can find these limitations. So we had a small analysis while identifying places regarding the file management, .NET libraries, and so on. But at that point, we had this upgrade back in 2020 April, and we didn't have an analysis which identifies exactly which objects will have these limitations. So we have improved a little. Still, at that point, it was quite an important thing to, to share what kind of limitations we might have while working with the solution. So we set then the final scope, and one really important thing is to set up communication rules while having this upgrade to extensions. Previously, while working with Elbek and Vejrup, and I believe later on Morten could add that it was really simple to communicate basically proper via mails when we are doing upgrades, either from classic versions to RTC or from RTC to RTC, because there wasn't a lot of things to discuss. We didn't have many limitations or issues or something. So it was completely enough all the time to have like weekly status update from our project manager who is responsible for an upgrade. But when we are having an upgrade to BC latest version with extensions, definitely we need to spend more time while communicating with the partner. At this case, with team of Elbek and Vejrup, we need to have a person who is dedicated and knows the solution best, that we could ask for various questions. And there are various ways how we can work with the specific limitations. There are like 3 ways how we can work with objects. So we need a person who would guide us and will let us know which path to choose. Of course, we will give our suggestions from our previous experience, which path should be the best, or according our experience, it should be the best. Either to modify the base app in some parts, or either to find some other workarounds, or refactor some of the functionalities, and so on. So this part is really crucial. Usually emails is not, send an email regarding status update once a week is not enough. And usually we are setting meetings or arranging calls. So you can add some part from your side. Morten, what do you think? What is crucial during the communication while upgrading?
Yeah, in the beginning, you have to set up meetings weekly, so you know where there are a lot of technical stuff that you have to clear to go through with the Simplanova and also the developers from Elbek and Vejrup, so we know which path to choose. And so it's I'll just recommend that you set up weekly scheduled meetings. So maybe sometimes you have nothing to talk about. That's all good, but sometimes you need to dig into some code parts to find the right solution for it. And of course, you need the right resources at the partner's side, the consultants who know the solution, also the developers to know what the code, how the code is working. So you are focused on the next step.
Yes, and if I remember correctly, actually, when we've discussed in the early beginning before deciding to to do the upgrade to BC latest version, that was one of the things from your side which you were considering. Maybe you would like to do that internal, because probably it will take quite a lot of time while communicating, but actually it wasn't that bad. I believe that we if we would count all the meetings, probably we didn't have the meetings each week, but definitely we had some of them. And yeah, when all the rules are set, then we could just simply check the final agreements, and when this part is done, the project starts. So regarding these phases, I'll try to introduce shortly what actually we've used for the project, how we've done the upgrades, first of all, to BC 14th latest CU, because well, this is according Microsoft recommendations, this is the step which you should do prior going to Business Central extensions, the past to BC 15th, 16th, testing and delivery. So regarding the tools and environment, let's say the tools for developers, the CPU should be as good as possible, especially if Docker containers are used. And actually for this project, we used Docker containers instead of the old way while working with the servers. In this case also at least 4 gigs of RAM per container is necessary. Fast and steady internet connection for faster downloading new containers. And for developer machines, well, from our experience, what we are using, it should be at least 16 gigs of RAM, 8th gen i5 CPU for the laptop, even i7, and SSD storage definitely. Regarding infrastructure itself, so to minimize resource usage, we use one container until it's possible to build the project. Then we can build a project. Every developer gets his own container. But regarding containers or servers, which one to use, it depends actually a lot on the way how you would like to work, because, well, it won't be an issue if you would work with the server. And in this case, if you have a huge database, containers probably won't be an option. The better way would be to use servers. But at this case, we used containers because the database itself was quite small, because still it's an ISV solution, and we have, if I'm not mistaken, we have the database of 4 gigs. So we used containers and everything went smoothly in that part. So we started, first of all, the transition to BC 14th. The current version was BC 13th, and everything went quite simple because basically it was object merge. We migrated the data as well to BC 14th. We've done the testing there, but there were some things that we didn't communicate in the beginning. So we've done that part only while working with extensions. But if you know, or you feel that the goal of your solution, which you are migrating, is either cloud version or Appsource, it is the best thing to work with suffixes and prefixes while doing the migration still in CL version. But unfortunately, in this case, despite the fact that it didn't make a huge difference, but we've done that part already when a solution was migrated to BC 15th. And Morten, you could just simply mention why this is an important thing also to have, prepared the suffixes.
Yes, if you are going to Business Central Online in the future, then it's you need to have those prefixes in your solution. So why not add it now when you are upgrading anyway? And of course, it's a complex task to do later for the partner, because you have to move all the data. So yeah, just set up the rules now when you are upgrading, and it's all set when you get it back from Simplanova.
Yes,
and so, also the subscriber code units, etc. You have to have some scoping meetings with Simplanova and to make a plan for how you should name those subscriber code units, and how many you should build, and how to structure your code. And if you have some internal coding guidelines, you also should provide those to Simplanova, so you will have the solution back the way you expected it to be.
Yep. Yes. And the path from BC 13th to BC 14th actually took just I believe up up to 2 weeks, no more than 2 weeks to do the upgrade, because it was quite a simple and easy task from our perspective. So while comparing how much time it took for us to go from BC 14th to BC 17th, if I'm not mistaken, it took roughly 70 days, 70 days or 72, something like that. And what was the path? Of course, first of all, we used TXT to AL tool in order to convert all the objects. We migrated data. We used the PowerShell as well for data migration. And what was the result? So after conversion, we structured all the objects. We run through the tables first of all. We try to check where we are having some issues, where we are not having any issues, well, where everything is going well or not. So according that, we check the limitations, and then when we are getting all the list, then we are communicating with, at this case, with team of Elbek and Vejrup regarding these limitations, what we should do with them. We are always giving suggestions, what are the options, and sharing the experience, probably which option would be the best. But the final decisions, of course, by the partner. So regarding tables, we had property not blank limitations, which like not blank value cannot be changed extent for the standard fields. So what we used in this project, we use on after insert and on before name events to test if field is not blank, return an error if it is blank. Then we had a property calc formula limitation also that cannot be extended. So what we've done, we copy the standard field to custom range. We change calc formula and replaced references throughout the solution. Next issue that we had regarding tables was related to property option string value that cannot be extended once again. So regarding this part, we modified the base app, and actually base app modifications definitely is one of the things that partners should not avoid or should be scared of, because they think that probably later on upgrades might be difficult because of that. But later on we'll explain you that this is definitely not the case. Then we had a few limitations regarding pages, but but in this case we received quite an easy answers from Elbek and Vejrup team. So we had limitations regarding property delay insert and property populate all fields. So in both cases, we received a request from Elbek team that we could just simply ignore the customization. But in this case, there are a few ways how to deal with that. So either you can modify the base app, or for example, you can copy the standard page to custom range, change delayed insert property, and replace references throughout the solution. The same with property populate all fields. You can do the same. Then regarding other objects, well, actually this applies probably to all objects. For example, object that belongs to system app cannot be extended. So what we've done, once again with Elbek and Vejrup, we had the luxury to ignore the customization, but there are like a possible workarounds that can be discussed with the partner or with the end user, that some functionalities might be either re-implemented by using event subscriptions. Then we had limitations regarding standard local procedures cannot be called in custom code as they are not accessible. What we've done for this version, Microsoft change the procedures scope to global, copy the standard function. And then we had the limitation regarding new parameters that cannot be added to the standard functions. And for Elbek Vejrup, we just simply subscribe to relevant event and add code, which we re-implemented the functionality. So, and of course, there were more limitations, but simply would take probably quite a lot of time to go through all the list. But basically, we solved most of the cases, and definitely there were modifications done in the base app while doing this upgrade. But that wasn't an issue at all because, well, we know that with each new release, Microsoft is adding new events. So it means that with each new release, you can move more and more of these modifications from the base app to extensions. And definitely upcoming upgrades won't take so much time as it did while comparing the transition from the RTC versions to BC extensions. So, but we'll discuss about the also the base app modifications later on in this session. Another one crucial part for testing is, you know, if you want to have a good delivery, the testing should go smoothly. And right here in Simplanova, without partners' help, what we can do a proper visual testing. It means that we can run all the reports, we can check the layout, we can check how everything looks from the visual part. But regarding functional testing, we need a support from partner. We need either to receive the testing scenarios or to have at least, you know, the parts to know on which part we should put the most effort while doing the testing. And I believe, Morten, you could add some more regarding this field, what actually you've done, how you helped us to prepare for this testing part.
Yeah, I think our consultants provided the 50 test scripts. So so we went through in our solution before the upgrades and sent it to you, and then you went through all those test scenarios. And of course, we did the same when we received the solution back from you. And also sometimes we scheduled some meetings, so we help you with those testing scenarios, because of course it's not always easy to go through those steps, because yeah, the consultants are used to find all those actions. And yeah, so we just set up some Teams meetings and help you with the testing, and it went quite well.
Yes, so the thing is, for all the entities, I would like to mention that, let's say if you are upgrading either your ISV solution or you are upgrading the end user with another partner. I mean, if another partner is providing you this kind of services, you should take in consideration one thing, that you know your solution best. So definitely you need to share as much information as possible regarding the testing phases, how should everything go and so on, you know, to make sure that after you will receive an upgraded solution from either Simplanova or other partner, that you would get the best results. And why testing part is crucial also for Simplanova, because after delivery we are providing the support period, which is for free. So it means that while working on that part, our goal is to fix all the issues if you are going to find any. So our goal is to make sure that you will get properly converted solutions with no errors at all. Well, our goal is to make sure that we won't spend much time on the support. But of course, everything happens, and in one way or another, we can receive these issues, which is, of course, normal, especially when you are working with upgrades to extensions. And there are a few ways how you can work during the support period, how we are working actually, what kind of options we can offer. So one of them is we do have our own internal Simplanova support portal where partners can upload the issues regarding the solution, and then later on you can simply download the fixed objects from this portal as well. Or on the other hand, if you are using Git, we are able to give you an access to Azure DevOps, for you to download all the fixes. At this case, with this particular upgrade, Elbek and Vejrup used simply our support portal, but we already discussed with Morten that probably in the future, we'll take the second option to use Azure DevOps. And I just see that I forgot to mention about the delivery, despite the fact that it's very simple. So in this case, what are the deliverables? So it's going to be an app file with all the solution objects and back file with upgraded database. So this was the procedure regarding the upgrade, how everything went. But there are also some points that I would like to mention regarding the best practices. So one of them is to avoid standard code copies as much as possible. In the first place, it might look like an option, to make these copies and move everything to extensions, but in the long run, it might be then a headache for you to do an upgrades for these parts, while finding out what copies actually done and so on. So from our experience, we could just simply share that let's try to avoid that part in order to have upcoming upgrade easier. The better, the smaller extension, the better solution. What does that part mean? It means that if you are going to have, for example, right now you do have a huge vertical solution and you build one big extension. So it won't be so fast. It will use quite a lot of RAMs. So we are suggesting to have a few smaller extensions rather than one big extension. And at this case, with the Elbek and Vejrup solution, actually, internally in Simplanova, when we've done the upgrade, we didn't divide the solution into smaller pieces, but because one of the things it requires, quite a lot of knowledge on the solution itself. So we need some support from the partner to do that. But Morten later on will be able to explain you actually what they've done with the solution when they received from us. If you are missing some of the events, you need more events in order to move some of the functionalities to extensions. Don't hesitate to contact Microsoft for that. We are using all the time this option while doing upgrades to extensions, and actually they are quite responsive, and usually within the upcoming cumulative update or upcoming major release, we see that we can find these events. So it means that you can move some modifications from the base app to to extensions, which is really
yeah. But Thomas, it's so it's up to the partner to fix those in the future, because it's coming into the next community
yes.
updates. You have to wait for those events, and Simplanova, they provide an Excel spreadsheet with all those events by themselves in the future. Or of course, have a quote from you to do it.
Yes, or you can have a quote for
it's not magic.
Yes, that's for sure. Regarding file management, this is the part actually which should be discussed prior the project, actually, because well, it works differently while comparing the Windows client and the web client, and there are several options how to deal with file management. So if we are talking about the ISV solution, so partners should take a decision which path to choose while working with the file management. If we are talking about the end user solution, also it is the greatest thing to discuss how to deal with that part prior the project with the end user, because, well, it's better to have all the answers before starting the upgrade than in the end of the upgrade, and so on. Then regarding project structure, we should put some time here. Don't be lazy, because definitely it's not the easiest way to work with one folder for the whole upgrade project. You need to make a proper structure for objects and so on. So this is quite an important thing also, not to miss something or not to get loose among all the objects and so on. And regarding code analyzers, according our developers, we know that it's a good thing to use, but we should use it only when it's necessary, because it is quite it takes quite a lot of resources if you are going to use that a lot. So we are suggesting to use it only when it's necessary. And right now, I would like to give once again a word for Morten, that he could introduce for all of you what are also crucial parts, important parts prior the upgrade for the partner, that he could explain a little bit more what's the path for vertical solution right now, what actually Elbek and Vejrup has already done, and what's the future.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. Yeah, first of all, as already mentioned, that you have to set the right team internal at the partner side before you start this project, because you have to do a lot of communication with Simplanova. So to find the right consultants and the right developers, and also the developers, you need to find those who are willing to communicate with Simplanova, because it's really important that they have a good success.
Sorry, I will interrupt also, Morten. So yeah. This is one of the things why usually prior the projects we are trying to set up all the meetings via Teams with cameras. Of course, right now it's COVID, so we are not able to visit the client directly, but we are willing to set up properly the meetings and, you know, to introduce the project manager responsible from Simplanova side with the consultants or project managers responsible from Elbek and Vejrup side, you know, that they could meet properly with each other, and, you know, to build the initial communication.
And nowadays we are used to work from home and have all the meetings over Teams. So it's the daily job we have nowadays. So it's not that complex anymore to communicate with Simplanova. And Also, you mentioned all the testing part. It's really important to write down some test script, and it has to be some consultants who know the solution, how it works, and it's also good to have those scripts because you can convert those to automated tests later. So it's so just provide as many test scripts as possible on the side. And also it's good to tell Simplanova how your internal coding guidelines are, and if you have some specific prefix, or if you have some naming rules for the subscriber code units, etc. You have to provide those to Simplanova, and they have a template to those meetings, so they will ask you if you don't provide them by yourself, they will ask for it. Then third parts add-ons, it's really important that as a partner that you will request those for the source for the target version, because it's I think it's more easier for the partner to request those. And then it's also important to go through the documentation, how to migrate to the target version, and then help Simplanova to go through those steps, because it's much easier if you are prepared to how this should be set up. And then about you talk about a lot about changing the base app, Thomas. And I think if you have a huge vertical, then the goal should not be to have no footprint at all in the base app. I think the first version 1.0 is okay that you have some changes into the base app, because it's really difficult to predict from your side, Simplanova, how many if you are able to remove all those changes at all. So I think it's okay to have those changes. Then the goal here at Elbek Vejrup is that by the end of 2021 we will have no footprint at all in the base app, and it's regarding the price calculation, we were not able to make those changes in the current version, but now in the upcoming versions it's extendable now. So so we will end up with no footprint at all in the base app by the end of the year here.
And how the upgrade from BC 16th to 17th went?
Yeah, we did that by ourselves, and we had to merge those changes into the base app again, and it took only one day. Then we were on the 17 version. So we did that by ourselves, and it was quite easy. And
So this is the thing, you know, an upgrade from BC 14th to BC 15th took roughly 72 days, and right now an upgrade from BC 16th to BC 17th only 1 day. So quite a difference.
yeah, it was. Yeah, and also remember to send a stable version to Simplanova before you do the upgrades. Sometimes partners try to delete a lot of functionality, and if you do that, then you'll send a solution to Simplanova who won't work, and then you'll get a new one back, which which always also contains all the errors. So pick a stable version for this upgrade here, and then wait and then do the refactoring by yourself later. Yes, what we also did, Thomas, is you provided one extension to Elbek Vejrup, but now we have ended up with 5 extensions. We have spread it up into 5 extensions, and the goal is that we would like to have a light version of this vertical for the cloud, and we will. The goal is by the end of 2022 we will have this light version, which contains of those 3 extensions, and then the last 2 extensions it's for enterprise customers only. And also now we have started writing automated tests, and now the consultants are used to write down those test scripts because you ask for those, and now we can start implementing those at our build pipelines. So that's also a good reason to write those down. And also now we have the latest and greatest version, and we can enable telemetry because there will be some bottlenecks in the new solution here, some indexes, and yeah, it's a new solution which are refactored. So it's really nice that we have that we can enable telemetry to find those bottlenecks, and that was not possible in the old versions. Yes, so overall, Thomas, I think you did a good job, and it was really a fast track for us. I think you spent, if we should have done this internal, I think we should have spent 6 to 8 months. And I don't know where we should have found those resources. So instead, we could focus on developing new cool stuff for our customers. So, and you are it's your daily job to do upgrades. So yeah, so that's
so this is a hint for us that we are going to to upgrade the REST vertical solution.
Yeah, we have I think there are 10 more to go, so I think we'll find the next one for you, because you did a good job. This one here was I think so you also said in the beginning that it was clean code, and there was a lot of event code units, etc. So it was quite easy. It was not the worst one to start with. We have some other old verticals where yeah, we have to refactor the solution more before we end up with some extensions, and then we need to schedule all those meetings, because we need we definitely have to spend more time on those meetings to end up with the right solution.
Yeah, so this was probably one of the reasons why we started with this one. You know, first of all, to test how everything works, because previously you worked with us. I don't know how many upgrades we've done previously regarding conversions from classic to RTC or from RTC to RTC. So this was our initial project related to extensions.
Yeah, that was the first extension one. So it was also really important that it was a success internally here in Elbek Vejrup, and it definitely was. We have approx 25 customers who are going to run on this solution in the future. And Simplanova, they provided the migrations tools and also documentations for how to run those tools. And I can tell you that it's quite complex to run those tools, and it is just technical stuff to do those migrations. But we have those tools, and now we can just start with the first customer and do those migrations. But it's still complex, and you can also book Simplanova to do this migration. But we would like to do this internal by ourselves, because then we can schedule when to do it, and we also have a lot of customers to upgrade. So it's nice to have those skills internal. The one thing we were missing from you, Simplanova, was the permissions. You have to set up all the permissions from scratch again, and that's you have to be aware of that, because it can take a lot of time on site, the customer side, to set up all the permissions again. I don't know if you have a solution for that in the future, Thomas, but right now you haven't.
Well,
we just missed it.
We are looking for that one, but as at that point, this is the thing what we are communicating with all the customers at that point, that you should be prepared for that, because well, we don't have an access to all the parts, and at this current stage we cannot provide such a thing, but hopefully in the nearest future we might find a solution for that. So we'll keep you informed about
thank
this.
You. Yeah.
So
and you also already mentioned the file management code unit.
Yes.
If you as a partner don't use the standard file management code unit, then you could miss something when you do the upgrades, when Simplanova do the upgrades, and it will fail. So I will definitely recommend all partners to use this standard code unit when you do file management. Then it will work as expected. But of course, when you switch to the web client, you are not able to open files, for example, the Word files, Excel files, etc., on the file share at the customer side. But that's just the new normal. So that's not because of the migration. That's just the new web client you have. Also, I will recommend that you will start some small customers to get used to do the consulting part in the new web client, because it's completely different. And if you start with a huge solution, verticals, then you will get trouble there on site with the customer.
Yes. So in the beginning, only small steps.
Yeah, small
how
steps, and
everything works.
to get all the training in how the web client works, and then you'll be ready for the verticals, because you definitely need some internal training also. But the good part is that all the technical guys, all the developers, they love the extensions, and they love the new Visual Studio Code, and so everyone would like to work with the latest and greatest when it's the technical guy. But all the consultants, they need to get the new skills.
It requires some time to adapt. So, but it is what it is. New thing. We need to learn some new things.
Yeah.
And
And also, when you have some options, values, fields in your solution, then you have to, if you want to go to enums, then you have to specify that for Simplanova. It's not that's an option in the migration. If you want to switch all the options to enums, it's an extra fee, but just to be aware of that if you want to do that also. But I think you have a template, Simplanova, that you will ask those questions to the partners. If they want it or not. Yeah.
So in this case, of course, maybe you do have something to add. I could go then to the other part regarding those.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for all the information and message, Morten. Good to hear that. I hope that was also useful for the partners, all the attendees who are here. And right now, what I would like to, before the Q&A, what I would like to suggest for all of you who are willing to do the upgrade, considering to do the upgrade either for ISV solution or for end user solution to Business Central, is to contact Simplanova directly, either by phone, either by email, or simply sending a request through our website, and request for evaluation to extensions analysis. What do I mean by that is, if we would receive the FOB file from your side with all the solution objects, we would use our evaluation tool for evaluation the solution to the latest BC versions. So as a result, what you are going to get, the fixed price for an upgrade to Business Central. You will see how much time it would take for us to upgrade each object. You would see how much time it would take for us to prepare all the environments, do the testing, etc., etc. And really important part for extensions is analysis. So you will get a list of objects where you will see exactly where you need either to do a refactoring, or you need to find some other workaround. Well, actually, we will give you suggestions on that, but prior the project, you will get this information, and it won't be the case when you will start the upgrade, and during the upgrade, you will find out the limitations, which is probably not a good thing to have. So you will be prepared prior the project. You will have this information. Of course, probably it won't cover 100% of the whole limitations, because even right now I could tell that we are improving our tool, and we are, I would say, internally launching new versions of our tool each 3 months, because from our experience while working with extensions, we are finding more new limitations that we didn't find in the previous projects, or in the opposite way, maybe what was a limitation before right now is not a limitation at all. So you will get this analysis from our side, and despite the fact maybe decide to do the upgrade internally, still you will have this analysis, which simply will be a tool, a document which would allow to prepare this upgrade properly. So I hope to hear soon from you via mail or via our website, and let's start Q&A session. So we have one question from Luke. Is there a specific reason to mention upgrade to BC 15th, 17th, and not to BC 15th, 16th, and not to BC 17th? So I didn't include BC 17th because we didn't an upgrade to BC 17th. Elbek and Vejrup did an upgrade to BC 17th, but I believe Morten already answered to that, how everything went, that you can add, of course, also Morten. But if I'm not mistaken, you were able even to remove roughly 90% of all the base app modifications while doing the upgrade to BC 17th, and it took roughly 1 day.
Yeah, it took only 1 day, and but we still have some modifications, and we will move those away. Yeah, during the next couple of months, because now we are able to change to extend the price calculation, and the version 17 wasn't released when you upgraded this solution, so that's the reason why we did it by ourselves.
Yes, in general, as I've mentioned, when we started the upgrade, even BC 16th was not available, and actually it wasn't a goal, but in the middle of the project, I remember that you just simply mentioned, guys, BC 16th is already available. Let's do an upgrade to BC 16th at the same time as well. So, okay, another question from Nikolai. Do you have some clear criteria for splitting one big app to several apps, having in mind performance impact? If too many table extensions, managing all apps together in Appsource. Well, in this case, we are not setting right now in Simplanova, we are not setting any criteria regarding splitting one big app, because, well, first of all, we need, in order for us in Simplanova to split the app, we need to get a proper documentation from the partner, the way how actually he imagines how we should split the solution, because if we are simply taking the solution, this one big extension for Simplanova, it would be quite difficult to do that without the help of partner. But right now, Morten, you could just simply also share your experience, how you splitted this solution of yours into smaller pieces.
Yeah, you really have to be aware of this, because if you have too many extensions, there will be a performance impact. So we have a core extension where all the table extensions are located, and then it's only functionality and page extensions and new functionality in pages we have in the other extensions. So we do really care about this, because it will definitely be a problem if we don't care about it. And also the telemetry from Microsoft, it will warn you if you have when you add the third table extension, there will come some warnings into the telemetry. So yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, then we have a question from With regards to modifying the base app, do you generally do this as you are waiting for Microsoft to add event publishers, or are there other reasons for modifying the base app? So regarding this part, it really depends. If we see that there are better workarounds rather than modifying the base app, we are trying to use the workaround. But if we see that we have a proper option how to have functionality that client would like to have while moving everything to extensions, then we are suggesting to modify the base app. Afterwards, we are contacting Microsoft, to make a new event available that we could move this functionality from the base app to extensions. But the thing is, it's not. The problem is probably that, yes, you won't have this functionality in this specific release on which you are doing the upgrade. You can expect it to have on the upcoming release, but despite the fact that you modified the base app, still the upgrade won't be that difficult as it was while doing the migration from CL to AL in the first place.
Yeah, so I think the first version you get back, it's okay to have some few modifications in the base app, as we also accepted from Elbek Vejrup's side. But the goal is, of course, to have a clean base app over time. And I think it's more it's easier for the partner to do the last refactoring because they know the solution. So instead of making some kind of weird solution for not modifying the base app for version 1.0.
Okay, and I see one question which I will refer to you to you, Morten, regarding telemetry. You've mentioned that part. You mentioned about using the telemetry features. Are these available for on-prem installs or for SaaS only?
They're available for both. You can just add a telemetry key inside the Navision service tier, and then it will start uploading those informations to application inside, and that's great. And I will recommend that because it tells you where all the bottlenecks are in the code. So that's really nice to have.
Okay, thank you. And I see, guys, that time is running. We've spent already more than an hour, and I see that there are some of the questions, but let's make it like that later on, either this week or upcoming week, you will receive, first of all, the recording of the event, and we'll try to prepare also all the answers for the questions that we received at the first place. And right now, I would like to thank all of you, first of all, for Morten, that he joined us and allowed to share all the experience while upgrading the solution. For all of you who joined the session, I hope to hear you soon later on while you are going to contact us regarding the evaluation analysis or some other requests. And if any questions, you see all the contacts, so don't hesitate to contact us. Once again, for all of you. Thank you for Morten joining the session, and hope everything will going to be good with upcoming new projects.
See you, Thomas. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening.
So thank you for all of you. Thank you for attending, and have a great evening or good morning if you are in US. So let's keep in touch, and hope to hear you soon.